beloved viewer. It's been quite a while. I hope you have been fine. I hope everything is going on well out there and the Lord has been faithful in your life. And we are yet back again with another interesting conversation here on the Youth Voice Show, here on Hope Channel Uganda. And hosting this conversation tonight, my name is Edison Masereka. I'm delighted to be here again and to have you with us. Thank you for always following us. Thank you for always watching. Thank you for your thoughts on YouTube and your comments across all the different social media platforms of Hope Channel Uganda. And thank you for loving the Youth Voice Show and also for loving Hope Channel Uganda. Now tonight, we are discussing a very pertinent conversation. Someone says that the mind is everything, what you think you become. And indeed, the mind speaks so much about the kind of person that you are going to be in our lives. Whatever it is you're going to be in life depends so much on the kind of mindset you hold and the things you think about and the kind of things you tend to entertain in your mental space. And so this evening, we are going to be discussing a growth and a fixed mindset. Growth and a fixed mindset. What does it mean? And how can we be able to have growth mindsets as young people? And how can we be able to overcome a fixed mindset that perhaps some of us have because of the different backgrounds and experiences that we have had and the different exposure that we have as young people. And to help us unpack this conversation, I have a beautiful panel of young people, one gentleman and two ladies. These female faces here had taken some time without being here, and how excited I am to have all of them back again. Just on my immediate right here is Engineer Deborah Kantono. Welcome back.
Thank you.
It's been like years without having you. How have you been?
Yes, I've been good.
Delighted to have you back again.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for giving us some time. And then on the other extreme right is the journalist herself. It has been very long, Annabelle. How have you been?
I have been good.
Yes.
Thanks for asking. Thanks for having me.
School ended, right?
Oh, yes, it did.
Graduated?
Well, not yet.
When is it?
Awaiting the end of the year.
End of the year. Yes. Oh, but at least you're done, eh?
Yeah.
Find some work to do? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then I have my very good brother and friend, Laban Musinguzi. He's also an engineer. Laban, good to have you back on the show.
Yeah, it's a pleasure always to be here.
Yeah, Laban is always responding every time we call upon him, and he really loves this show, and we are glad. Friends, we are looking at a growth and a fixed mindset. When you heard about this topic, what came to your mind, Laban?
Yeah, I was thinking, my focus went so much on the word growth. You know, my mindset is a perception, how you perceive things in your mind, how you view different topics, themes, life, your attitude towards certain things. And to me, the growth mindset, I saw it so much in the language of a farmer. You view abilities, skills, character, performance as things that can be cultivated, nurtured, and, developed. You have the mind of the gardener. That when I saw these seeds of, practice, these seeds of efforts, perseverance, they will germinate, they will grow, they will bear fruits. And such a mindset does not underestimate small beginnings. It doesn't view slow processes as, failure, or it doesn't get discouraged when things go slow. Such a mindset knows that consistent, intentional investment will produce results if it didn't produce instantly. And to me, I had two mindsets. one of a gardener who sees potential and asks what can be nurtured from this. And one, I can say, a museum curator who sees abilities as artifacts that are already formed. They need to be just identified, categorized, and displayed. Yeah. Cultivation. Yeah.
Thank you very much, and that's very interesting. What does this mean to you, Debbie? A growth mindset or a fixed mindset?
A growth mindset. To me, I'll start with a fixed mindset. It means that this is what I am. This is what my abilities can have me do, and I cannot change this. But then a growth mindset means that this is who I am now, and this is what I can do now. But I believe that if I'm subjected to certain conditions, I can change this. So a growth mindset acknowledges what I am now and has the provision that I can be better than this, or I can do more than this. That is the growth mindset. Yes.
Annabelle,
Yes, please.
what does a growth or a fixed mindset mean to you?
Thank you, Edson. That is very interesting. Why? Because as Laban said, he dwells mostly on the growth part, because relating to a farmer, you're seeing seeds, the cultivation and everything, and the process of seeing something grow into something better, like a seed into a plant. It reminds me of a psychologist at Stanford University, Carol Dweck, who talked about the concept of there are many things in life that take time. Growth takes time. And when you understand that you need growth in your life, then you stop being fixed. This is me going to the fixed part. Because once you're fixed, it's like you're limiting yourself from growth, anything connected to growth. I've met people, and at times as human beings, you feel like, I'm this way, I can't do this, I think this particular way, I can't change the way I'm thinking. Now, you get to see that many things under that mindset of a fixed mindset don't grow, they don't thrive at all. Nothing grows in that mindset. Whereas the growth mindset gives you an opportunity to explore a lot of things, learn from other people, unlearn, relearn, and keep learning from other people, just embracing the growth. Yes.
What shapes our mindset, our worldview, and our opinions? What do you think primarily shapes them?
Primarily, I think it is our environment. Because if I am surrounded by people who believe that this might be my background or my family or my society, that can very well shape the way I think about certain things. Yeah, my environment.
Yes, Annabelle.
Thank you. Our culture, the environment, as she mentioned, the environment we live in. I mean, who is speaking into your life? What are they speaking? And because other people, for example, our parents, our siblings, our colleagues at work, our fellow students, those are the people around you that influence your perceptions of things. Maybe not entirely, but contribute to that as well.
Yes, Laban.
Yeah. I think the main issue, as mentioned, it is the environment, and most especially the environment in which we are nurtured. At its basic level, the family. One of the things why I am positive is because of my dad. From when I was young, he made me feel like everything is possible. You know, you're going to be this, you can do this. When we walked through Kampala, could point you to this building and it's like, this can be done. It was done by a person, this. And you know, you grow up, you know, positive. I had my elders, the same. I think the environment in which we are nurtured. I have, I call them sons. They are sons of my late brother. When I'm with them, I try to put the same into them. No, don't be timid. What do you want? Tell me what you want. As in, this can be done. You can do this. Participate in this. What are you doing at school? So the environments in which we are groomed, the parents, are they positive? Do they see your results, your report cards as your value? Do they encourage you? Or they just pin you and So sometimes all this negativity we grow up with is because we were nurtured that way. And since those are the levels that it makes us so hard to believe that, things are possible. Yeah.
So background is very important in shaping the kind of persons that we eventually become. And how about education and learning? Do you think that perhaps the education institutions we go to can shape the kind of mindset you're going to have and perhaps limit us in a way or another?
Yeah, I have a story of one of my friends. She's a wife to an elder in our district. She was telling me she's a practicing medical personnel and she has had a successful, academic journey. Very beautiful journey. And she was telling me that I didn't start like this. I didn't get these grades from the beginning. At her primary school, a government school, there was a teacher. This teacher had two pupils whom she thought that these ones are special. These ones are the performers. And whenever she could enter class, she could ask, where is this one? Where is this one? And if they are absent, she would say, So this lady tells me that, I thought that the things are done by, some certain people. But in P6, she changes the school and goes to, fortunately, one of our Adventist school, Chireka, And she says when she reached there, everything was different. Teachers would be on every student, on every pupil, and they are demanding results. And then she got a 40, and she was like, I had never got a 40. 60, 80s, and life changed. So the education environment is also important. Yeah, that was a vivid story.
Do you guys think the kind of education you've gotten has shaped your mindset, especially in formal schooling?
Education does so much to change the mindset because the teachers also shape our lives and thinking itself, because a teacher can either make you think you can make it or make you think that is the end of life. So education is very powerful, and all levels of education. Also, schools, like he said, there can be a certain mindset in a certain environment, because you realize that even when we meet, like at the university, you realize that some people coming from a certain school behave a certain way, meaning the school they were at shaped their mindset. So they come thinking that way, and you realize, you'll see the difference between them and someone who did not go to that school. So education is very powerful to change our mindsets. Yes.
Annabelle,
Yes.
which schools did you attend for your high school?
That's interesting. Thank you. I went to Fairmont High School for my senior 1 to senior 4. Then for my A-level, 5, 6, I went to Hilton High School.
Do you think there's a role they played in shaping the kind of mindset you hold at the moment?
Oh, yes.
And were there any limitations?
Yes.
And by the way, those are all SDS schools. And there are some people who have actually said that there's a way SDS schools limit children in terms of exposure and that. Did you see something like that?
Connecting now, please allow me to date back to my primary, a little bit of primary. So about what Laban said about teachers, how primary they are in encouraging us. Now, I've not really been good at maths for a while. Not be in the 90s or in the 80s or in the 70s. I'll be, you know. So there is this teacher, a maths teacher. He dared to say something that hurt me as a child. And I wondered at that age, I was like, he's a teacher. How dare he say something like this? He said, so there's a time he bought papers and I didn't perform well among other students. You know what he said? He said, this one, if I ever be sick or ill and I'm really dying and I'm taken to a hospital and I find them as a doctor, I rather die than let them touch me. Why he said that? He would always say, in every profession there is maths and everything, and I would not deny, I was just having trouble understanding some concepts. I don't know if it was me, but there are times when a teacher would introduce a concept and you would understand it there and then tomorrow you're like, and then he comes and he's like going with those that understood without, I mean, kind of like, did you understand like that? When you don't understand, he's like, like that. So that thing pushed me through my secondary, because I would also not be good at maths, frankly speaking, because I believed what he was saying, that I'm not good at maths. And there's certain concepts I would understand, like the bearing, like the construction, like the simultaneous equations. And I'm like, well, I'm not that bad. And when I pushed to close, I was working in money, cashiering and stuff. And I'm like, hey, I could do that, you know? Why? Because what he said was ringing in my head. You're not good at maths. Yeah, math, even in secondary. In O-level, there is a teacher, I won't mention your name, but you know yourself. It's like, asimwe. Math yakola kutiranye wamwe. And I was like, dude, no one, but, you know, at least. So I feel like the patterns or the methods of teaching.
Teachers.
Yes, because I remember that guy, a teacher would come in class and add on what he was teaching. And without asking if we understood what we were taught. So that is something I like in those schools that have a different curriculum. I don't know. I pray this curriculum helps the new one because they have a class called the review class. Review what you've been studying through that day. As you pile on the next day's work, you remember at least a few things from yesterday's work. So I feel, it impacted.
You know, when we're talking about education, okay, we are now deep into the education and looking at the elements, the teachers, and etc. But now, a bigger picture is in taking your child to school. Now, a person who has gone to school is likely to have a growth mindset than one who has not gone to school.
Laban, what kind of schools do you wish to take your children?
You want to homeschool?
No.
You want tutors for your children, yeah?
No. There is a type of education I think my children should have. I don't know whether I can give a type of a school or give it a name type, but I can tell the type of education I want my child to get. My child should be, first of all, in a school that considers spiritual education, a school that offers holistic, in the physicals, the emotional, the knowledge, the what. You know, if it is a primary school, my child should have space to play. As in, compound should not be flowers. You know, this is an active age. You know,
I was seeing something online recently that which country they replaced children were playing on like this artificial grass and something like that. Primary school children, nursery and that artificial grass and that, and so they actually replaced it with real mud and sand that can become muddy and then the children actually improved and became better because they are now playing in a more natural environment.
Could that be China?
It's some, I think somewhere
New Zealand or something.
Scandinavian countries.
Maybe New
somewhere.
Zealand.
Yeah, okay. I'm not sure, but the bigger picture is there is some age whereby these children have to play.
Yes.
They have to play. They should not, come and sit indoors, watch screens.
They're actually teaching them using screens because they don't have physical space where they can actually do that playing. They just watch other people play screens, and
That is dangerous.
So this is the type of education I want. If it is maybe both primary, secondary, the child should have this opportunity to learn skills. It is more than just the knowledge you're going to get. So I don't know. I will assess the schools, but I have such a bigger picture in my head.
How about the people that speak to us from their point of limitations? My parents didn't go far, and so they speak to me from their perspective of limitation. I have maybe a teacher who didn't go as far or who has a limited perspective about life, and so they are speaking to me from their point of limitation, and perhaps I end up like that. So perhaps now, like my own example, my parents never went to school, so to them, my first degree is enough and I'm doing well in my current role, and anything beyond this is being overly ambitious and not appreciating God for what He has given me. What do you say about that? How should we break loose from such?
From such, what I've realized is that those things happen where people speak and it has the power to impact me. But what I've seen that sometimes that changes from growth and being exposed, that mindset can change. But then you realize that most of those things come in when someone either wants you to be exactly like them, but I believe that can easily change with seeing, and also people can see the fruits, because when someone limits you according to their own limitations, when they see fruits from your ambitions, they'll know that they were wrong.
You have to ensure you succeed. On a previous show, Laban, you said that, is it you, Laban, that you are only a rebel if you don't succeed?
No, it was.
We were talking about firstborns and that, and then someone was like, if you have to disobey, if you have to go against the norm, ensure that you succeed. And I think it still speaks to this, that if you have to break loose from what the path they want you to take, you have to ensure you succeed.
Because if you fail, they tell you, see, we told you.
And especially these parents who want to take the kind of careers that you go into. We want a doctor in our family, but for you want the creative arts, you want performing arts or something like that.
Sure.
And then that comes quite limiting. But I want us to speak about self-sabotaging habits that perhaps put us into a fixed mindset, and we don't get the exposure we are supposed to be getting. Are there any such habits? Self-sabotaging habits that affect and put us in a limiting mindset?
Yes. Yes. On that note, I believe we tend to dwell on the I can't. I can't. I'm not able to. I can't. I can't. Now that is close-ended. It's like you're not even giving yourself space to do something, to try out something. Now, I believe if we can shift that I can't to I can't yet, you see? Now that enables growth. Why? If a seed could just be put in the soil and it just grows that very day, that very time actually, then it would not make sense. But you leave the seed, you water it, you put it in a condition that enables it to grow. That is something we should adapt as well, because I realized as human beings, good Lord, we're always dwelling on I can't, I fear I can't, because that fear also, because a lot of things are psychological, that you find, you believe, and the habits can so be entangling. You feel like it's a web, you can't get out. I can't. Now every time you feel like you can't, now this mind listens, because you're speaking that into your life, and you start believing it, and you start behaving like you really cannot. Now other people, the outsiders, can be like, Panange, why doesn't she do this? Why doesn't he do this? Kumbe, it starts with you who's saying I can't. Now the I can't yet helps, that it gives you room to grow, to learn from Deborah, to say, Laban, okay, let me, learning from each other and through the challenges. Life is so challenging. So it helps when you have a mindset, that growth mindset. I can't, yet, not just I can't.
Yeah, one of the other self-sabotaging habits can also be procrastination. It can sabotage you that when you think you can do something now, but then you keep on procrastinating it, a time will reach and you say, maybe I really cannot now do this because I thought about this thing 4 years ago, but I've not yet done it, so I cannot do it. So that one can also keep you back.
Yeah. I think also it is the lack of patience. You know, we should understand that growth takes time. When I saw one of the guild president candidates some year back at MOBS, she was a lady, she had a theme of campaign. It was good things take time. Did you see that lady? When I saw her campaigning theme, good things take time, I just knew she will not pass. Because naturally people want quick fix.
Oh, yes. Instant comfy, instant
You think she would not pass by seeing her? What if people like her?
Slogan.
The slogan. That is our nature.
But the slogan does not take people so much.
My perception was that it is so hard to convince people that, you know, good things take time. People want quick things. You know, they are giving you their votes and you are telling them, you know, things will take time. You know,
Maybe they got worried.
and that is the nature of humanity. You know, patience is bitter. And but if you want growth, you really have to be persistent and be ready to wait. Yeah.
That's interesting. Thank you. We pause here a little and we take a quick break, and then we return shortly and delve more into other self-sabotaging habits that perhaps put us in a fixed mindset, but also how do we get past this and we don't limit our growth and our potential and what we can be able to achieve. How do we get past this? We take a quick break and we return shortly. This is the Youth Voice on Hope Channel Uganda. See you shortly. Welcome back from that very short break, and this is a Youth Voice show here on Hope Channel Uganda. Hosting this conversation tonight, my name is Edison Masereka. And this evening, we are discussing growth mindset versus fixed mindset. How do we limit ourselves because our mindsets are fixed and we are not willing to change them? And before we went for the break, we had looked at a few things, how it manifests, what some of the things that trigger a fixed mindset, and I want us to move to a few other things, and we look at what the Bible says about this. But before that, is it braver to try and mess up or never to try at all?
It is braver to try and mess up because the growth mindset tells me that mistakes are part of growth. But now the fixed one will say, when I've failed, I've failed. Yeah. But knowing that mistakes are part of the journey is very important because it helps you give the mistake as a stepping stone, not having it as a
definition of yourself.
Yes, like now I've failed. So it is braver to try and fail. And by the way, sometimes we do not grow because we fear to try, because we want maybe to do something that we are sure will win. And those are some of the quick fixes that he's saying, that you're sure that this is going to work out, but sometimes be sure to fail. Yes, because failure is a sign that you are trying.
And do you start when you have all the green lights, or?
Sometimes you may need to start without all green lights because you may wait, the green lights might come years in front.
You master your craft.
So meaning you keep on, you'll keep on procrastinating and then you won't start anything.
I listened to someone and was likening it is like you're traveling to Entebbe and then you want all traffic lights to turn green along the way before you can
So that
set
you move.
off. Yes, you want all of them to turn green before you can set off. And I think that limits us as young people. Like we want all the odds to like be sure in our favor before we can actually try out things. And I think that's really very, very fixed of us. Now, the Bible says in Philippians 4:13 that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. Why is it so hard to believe such promises? Why do we keep limiting ourselves even with such a richness of promises from the scriptures?
Yeah, first of all, at its deepest level, the growth mindset is one that has faith in God and believes that God blesses, God strengthens, and God transforms. And this is the mind of God. I think Genesis 1:28, that God blessed them and go and multiply,
Be
be
fruitful.
fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, and subdue it. Now, this command was not merely, to increase in number. It was a mandate to expand, to increase, to steward and bring out the potential within the
And
creation.
I think that's what applies to us mostly as young people today. God won't blame me if I choose not to have children, but I expand my territory, right? Will I be blamed
If you don't do what?
if I choose not to have children, but I expand my territory?
What do you mean by your
Depends how will
territory?
What he's talking about, growth, building things, expanding, like.
Yeah, it may not be on in one aspect because you can think about the fruitfulness, meaning having 40 children and then nothing else
Yes.
because God
Yeah,
told me.
yeah, sure.
But we need to
But
be
can we
all
think about
round.
fruitfulness in terms of abundance, right?
Yes,
yes,
not only
and,
having many children.
character.
Yes.
So it is a bigger picture. So this is the mindset of God. He expected man to expand from family to many nations, from untamed land to flourishing communities. It is the mindset of God. And there is one verse that says that even in heaven we shall grow from grace to what?
To grace.
From grace to grace. There is no end of it all. Perfection is not a point. It is a line to infinity. You see. So God expects us to do what? To grow. And it is from 2 Peter. Yeah, 2 Peter, the first chapter. They show even the growth journey, the spiritual journey. The ladders. Faith.
From this, add this, add this,
faith
add
to
this.
virtue to this and this and this. Yeah, that is the theme in the Bible. Growth and growth and growth. And I think Jesus, most of his parables rotate, around here. First the blade,
Then
the ear. Yeah.
The sower sows and then the harvest comes. So multiplication is
Let's
a
talk about
principle
our
of the
friends
Bible.
and how they influence our mindset. Annabelle.
Thank you, Edson. That is very interesting. Why? Because our friends are the closest to us, well, aside from family, whereby you can find that the friends are family. You have those friends that are your brother, you call them your brother, you call them your sister, and you share a lot of things with them. Yes, I believe friends. So it goes back to who your friends are. Because these are people that are going to say you look a certain way, you speak a certain way, you behave a certain way, and those are the people you're going to believe. So they might as well be people of good character, not as pretentious, because we are human beings. There's a lot that comes with that. So I think we believe we need genuine people close to us, because you get to see that in primary you have different friends, in secondary you have different friends, at uni you have different friends. Fortunately, if you still talk to some friends in primary, on rare occasions that happens, but you find some people that be like, I've been with that friend for a while, and then you ask them what they like about them and they're like, she's kind, she's God-fearing, why they think that friend being God-fearing is important is because this is someone you're going to be sharing your values with. They know you treasure prayer time, Bible study, repentance. I mean, we are sinners on a daily. So you repent and then choose to learn and do better. So friends are a huge part in our lives. And it is important who your friends are.
How does a growth or a fixed mindset reflect in our everyday life, in how you dress, in how you do things, in how you appear, in how you arrange your space or something like that? Can you look at how a person dresses and you can tell that they are fixed or how a person appears?
Sometimes like in our daily interactions, you can even maybe tell me to adjust something. But then I say, me? I cannot. I think maybe how I've been doing it is the most right way. This is how I am. So even in the little adjustments, someone gonna know. My mom told me we cannot do that. So in some things, like even in our daily lives, like someone can tell, because we meet people who think differently. So when they tell me to adjust something, if I think that the only way I've been doing it is the right way, then that is a fixed mindset. Yes, so I can tell from a person who does not want to adjust that they are fixed somehow, somewhere.
Laban? By the way, there are men who, for example, don't believe in marrying big. Says if you marry an empowered woman, you have trouble. And is that a fixed mindset?
It can be.
Yeah, it can be.
And they settle small, they settle for less, and
I think one of the components of a fixed mindset is the inferiority complex. You feel inferior. And
you're tied there.
You don't want to be checked. You don't want to be challenged. And I think such a character may make the worst husband. And it comes back to what you're asking. I don't want this type of woman because, I fear this. Fear. Growth comes with, taking risks and the brevity to encounter the obstacles. You become better if you're exposed. You have to be checked. That's why you go for exams. We just sit and learn and assume that we are okay. But the world has to test you. Go for it and let the results make you better.
There's also something I'm thinking about the fixed mindset. There's a way it can generalize things, because I can be fixed and say maybe some statement like men are bad, but not all of them are bad. So somehow the fixed mindset can make you...
Rich people are evil people.
Like you can have those general things that this thing and like this. Then maybe they tell you, maybe you say those things are hard.
Every beautiful woman what do they say? But every beautiful woman is
what?
Difficult? What? Could it be difficult?
Maybe, for example, maybe, or even empowered women, like all of them are difficult. If a woman is educated, she's difficult. She's proud.
They won't listen to you.
They want to listen.
That is a very fixed mindset, because there are some people who are that way, but they have different characteristics. So a fixed mindset can generalize, and maybe you can say people from that school are like this, but then not everyone from that school is like that. So you need to have an open mindset that there can be different people, and people have been influenced by very different environments.
Let's look at the popular culture and the people speaking into the lives of young people currently. You have TikTok and there's everyone saying whatever it is they want to say. How do you think that is influencing the mindset of young people today?
I believe the content out there can be quite misleading. Half truth, but not even half, but mostly misleading. And then there are times when there is truth, but then the high percentage is misleading. Because there's a lot of people on social media there, because everyone is on social media. Okay, majority of people are. And then you find people, you mentioned men not wanting to get married to empowered women. Now, it's a touchy conversation. Why it is I believe women have their own power. God knew, and God is seeing these things. I don't know what he's thinking, but he knows better. Because I believe women have their own power. Now, why that comes difficult, what becomes difficult is because naturally there are men that believe anything concerning power, it's theirs. Anything concerning power, it's theirs. Like, you can find a phone charging and automatically you think it's electricity, masanyalazi, umeme and stuff. Kumbe, nowadays there is solar, you know? So you have to first find out that, hey, is it masanyalazi or why it's solar, you know? So a lot of people speak out of ignorance, bitterness, pain, frustration, ignorance.
And those are the opinions they are putting out there, and that's what you're feeding yourself with.
Exactly.
If someone had a broken relationship, and so they are using that as a generalization, and because they have a voice and a platform, and that's what young people are believing.
Yes, whilst engaging those people into changing their mindset and just believing what these people, because there's a lot of following, commenting, and you say someone is like a follower like this one, like what they say is the truth, is the gospel truth. Because there's a time I was at church and there is a pastor. He came with the wife and the children. Now the wife is tall and was putting on heels. She is beautiful. I don't remember how she looked right now. But I looked at her and I was like, wow, how beautiful she is, because I am a tall woman. And growing up, they'll tell us, and I'm like, you know? And I'm like, eh? They would have put like a disclaimer, we are making heels, but not for tall girls. Growing up, I would believe that. I'm like, I see heels and I'm like, eh. I look how I'm like, heel, eh, you know? You're working with someone and like, you're towering over me, and I'm like, please tell me what I should do to just decrease my size. Now, that gentleman told us that when he was going to marry the wife, a lot of people were telling him, that woman is too tall for you. She'll be disrespectful. You know, they're telling him a lot of things. You know what he told us? And he was speaking directly to the gentleman in the congregation. He was telling them, yes, you can listen to people give you advice, but it's you to choose. He's married to that lady. And he says, yes, there are many challenges in marriage, but not the disrespect, not because, you're short. I'm too tall, you know? I'm too professional. I mean, I have a lot of power. No. So he was telling us that you can change, you can choose to decide something that benefits
what you take in.
Because this is someone he is married to, and he attests to how she behaves. And when she was like, these people were telling me different things. This woman is respectful towards me. And some people would be like, oh, that was your chance and everything. But it was like, I decided to take the chance. And look at how it came out, you know? So a lot of things happen because people have a fixed mindset on things, and because they dwell on. He said, okay, this is okay. Tall women, empowered women, they won't listen to you at all.
And someone will emphasize on TikTok, like as if they have the evidence, they're very experienced, but what I've realized is that they have a lot of things that they might be sweeping under the ground. But when I come in front of the camera and I come and tell you something, you'll see it firsthand. You'll think that I'm very experienced, yet I have a lot of things I'm hiding. So we as young people, we should filter everything by the word of God, because when someone is really having the same lifestyle they are living behind the camera is the same that they are putting up to the camera, meaning they are consistent. But we should not allow ourselves to be guided by someone whose history you do not know, but now here they are forcing an opinion onto you, and now you're just taking it in, yet you do not know what is behind the scenes. So what I also think is that, of course, we can take the guidance from people we just see, but then the people we have had a personal touch with, it is very best because we have seen their lives, we know what they are doing. So when they tell me something, I know what is happening, other than following what someone is saying only on the screen, yet they might be sweeping a lot of things behind that door.
Yeah, I think adding on that, since the fixed mindset thinks abilities are fixed in stone, you know, they are already there. Now, when you see things happening on social media, this one is attaining this, you may think things happen effortlessly. Now, you will not see the process of, be like, why? Those are the people who do this, those are the people who get this, those are the people. So, not knowing how it came to be, that you can also go for the process and you reach there. Yeah.
And finally, I want us to address the aspect of continuous learning and improvement. Because we like we've already discussed, learning is very important in regards to shaping us into the kind of persons that we're going to be, and also influencing our mindset. How do we embrace continuous learning and always improving kind of mindset?
Always improving. I would say we need to be readers, because when you look at people that reading has the power to change our minds. Reading the Word of God, reading inspired writings, reading good literature from people that have a lot to tell us, because sometimes when you look at those short videos where people might be giving you advice or something, they're very short and they might not be into depth. But when someone is a reader, it can help you grow. It can help. Reading can expose you, because you're hearing from someone who you may never talk to, but they put something into writing. So reading is very important for us.
And on that note, Debbie,
Yes.
you are awaiting graduation, right?
No, I
No,
graduated.
sorry.
She's a whole graduate.
I'm fresh.
Yes, you just
She's
graduated
fresh.
this February.
Feb.
Yes. But this morning you were supposed to go and write a paper.
Yes.
I mean, when someone graduates, the last thing they want to do is go back to school and study something else. They want to like take a break and rest. What is your motivation for going back immediately, and you have to sit for tests and all these things again immediately?
Now, the continuous learning that we are talking about here may not be necessarily going back to school, but it is this thinking of I can add more, I can improve, I can learn something new is what we should have. The motivation is that graduation is not the pinnacle of success, and even by the time you graduate does not mean you know everything in your course, because you realize that I'll be there wanting to read something again, but I graduated, so it doesn't mean you know everything. And like even how we are told, even in our spiritual lives, like in the school of Christ, we do not graduate because it is continuous learning. Like in this life, we need to continuously learn, but the moment you think that graduation is the pinnacle, meaning you're not adding on anything, the only knowledge you got in class is the only thing you're having, but we realize that life exposes us to different circumstances, and I may need to learn something more than what I learned in class. So learning in all aspects of life. I might have graduated, but then they organize a cooking class. I'm not, even my field is not about cooking, but then it's cooking, and you can go and learn, and you might need to write something or what. But now people say they even throw away the books. And by the way, we also had that mindset somewhere in high school that when I'm done with this paper, I'm going to burn the books. But you realize that when you grow up, you realize that you still need that knowledge, and sometimes you need to revisit even if you finished learning the things.
Annabelle, what are your thoughts on continuous learning and improvement?
Well, I believe we need to embrace challenges, first of all. Challenges are meant for us. It's just that as people, we have to just shift a little to the growth mindset, or even wholly to the growth mindset to get out of the challenges, because some challenges can be so drowning, and we have different personalities, different experiences. I've met people that feel like, Banange, I've gone through a lot of things, and that should define them. Well, they shouldn't. They should just be, as you mentioned, Deborah, a stepping stone to greatness. You may not have to become a president or a fighter or join the army or anything, but just step out of, just step out of that comfort zone that you're, as it is, comfortable. that you're in to just try something new. Learning on a daily basis is so paramount. I mean, you can't be the same person ever. For example, I'm learning Spanish. I'm not Spanish, but I have this love for telenovelas. I like the language because I just relate with their music, the language itself. So there are people that would tell, Anna, you're learning Spanish. Are you Spanish? You know, like and growing up, I would always have a lot to say, and I'm like, people, I don't want to be Spanish. I'm learning Spanish because I want to relate with another Spanish person. I was working in a supermarket, and this customer comes. They were looking for some toiletries, and they were speaking Spanish. The Spanish.
That thing they were looking for in Spanish.
They were looking. No, they were not looking for a specific product. They just wanted to, as foreigners come in a different country, like you would go in Spain or Italy, and you're looking for something soap, and they have different brands of soap. Sure. So they just wanted to go to that, and they were looking for something, and it was like. And it's like, ¿Cómo? ¿Qué tal? And I'm like, ¿Cómo estás? And then it's like, estoy bien. And I'm like, and he was like, yes. And I got to help him, and it was not even over bragging or anything. I was just happy that he was not lost.
Experience.
Because I was seeing myself as a person who would travel to a different country, and I know nothing of their language. So I felt like I felt blessed that I was able to. And I don't know everything in Spanish. Oh, I do not.
You know Runyankore?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I hope you didn't have to go to the basement to learn it.
Pardon me?
I hope you didn't have to go to the basement to learn Runyankore.
Oh, no. Oh, no. No, I just, yes, the language bit, now that is me. I try to learn different languages. I don't have
languages are very good.
Yes, they are. And because I'm in communications, I think it's empowering to be able to speak or to understand. I may not know all the grammar, but at least I can be like, he's meaning this. She needs this, yeah. So I think it's...
And we do not have to come with this... It's also a fixed mindset of discouraging someone learning something weird from what you think they... Because someone will come and tell you, I'm now doing Chinese. You're like, well, where are you going to even find them? Then you discourage them. So we should not be those kind of people who will discourage someone. So we should... first understand, because you might discourage someone immediately. Like someone, maybe you say in Uganda we have 2 airplanes and you want to become a pilot, so you're putting them down immediately. First understand, maybe they're building theirs. Yes.
Yeah,
when I applied for my passport somewhere mid last year, people in my circles were like, why are you wasting 250,000
for a passport?
Where are you going? Like, what's coming up? And I'm like, but I just want to have it. You never know. People are like, and don't you have something else you can do with the money? Yeah, and when the trip finally came in, and
you were ready.
I was ready.
Were they saying anything?
No, they kept quiet.
Of course they did.
I think the other reason why we have to continuously learn is because the world also keeps on evolving. New things coming. I see it in my engineering field. We are being educated on curriculums of 1990. When you reach in the field, new things, new skills, new materials come in every day. So you have to keep on learning also. The other thing is the world is so big, different cultures, different communities, but we are a global village now. Masereka, you have said, from nowhere we're in where? In Ethiopia.
Yes.
Yeah, tomorrow she will be in Spain, Catalonia, and she will be ready. So... It is the best thing to keep learning.
Surely, it's important.
And as well, learning from constructive criticism.
Yes.
Now, we as people, we don't like to be critiqued. I mean, who wants to be critiqued? But if we develop this mindset of, if it's constructive, I'm embracing it. If it's, hey, do this, try this. But there are people as well with a different tone that can, don't do this. You do it. It's just demeaning you and putting you down. But if there are people that speak into our lives, let it be intended for constructive criticism. That is how we'll learn.
And also, this is also a fixed mindset to think about only learning big things, that maybe I think at my level I should only... Maybe the continuous learning is going for a master's. No, there can be something basic. Maybe they can teach, maybe they're organizing, maybe to teach you how to maybe clean the shoes. And for you, you think that is, I cannot learn that because I think I know how to. That is also fixed. You need to think that maybe they're teaching us a different way. Maybe this person makes the necktie, but the training looks so basic and you don't want to go for it, yet it is something really so good. So we need to also think about continuously improving in the small things.
However small.
However small.
Yeah, sure.
We humble ourselves and don't think that I need to learn big things that will change the world's history. No. Even
Start
someone
small.
might teach you how to make a bed in a different way. And because you think, you might look at that as something small, but yes, that is a good mindset.
Thank you very much. And this has been a very fruitful conversation. I thank you so much, friends, for sharing your thoughts and your opinion on this topic. And I believe that our young people out there, fellow young people, have had something to learn for themselves. Tell us what you think about the topic on our YouTube channel, Hope Channel Uganda. Can kindly go there, drop in your comments, and tell us what you think about this particular topic. Otherwise, it's been a pleasure having you with us this evening. Thank you for always following this conversation. Thank you for always tuning in, listening, and sharing the show. And see you next time. From myself and the rest of the team here at Hope Channel Uganda. Bye-bye.